Jisam Balikis.
I'm right here. 1 minute to go to start. Just waiting for them to. I
While we
was
are
lost.
waiting, can I laying the foundation and all of that?
Okay, no problem. You can go ahead. It's already time. It's 2025.
All right. Good evening, everyone. My pleasure to speak with you all, and apologies for the tardiness with starting the session and all the waiting and all that. My name is Mayokun Yamalere, and excuse me, I'm a member of Plugin Nigeria. So for tonight's session, I want us to teach ourselves about climate change. So please, everybody, I would like us to take the next 1 to 2 minutes to get a sheet of paper and a pen or a pencil. Get a blank sheet of paper. It can be a small notepad, it can be a foolscap sheet, any sizable paper that you can lay your hands on. Just get a paper and a pen or a pencil that you can write or draw with. Please let's do that in the next 1 or 2 minutes. And when you do so, just indicate in the chat room that you have your pen or pencil and paper. Thank you. Yeah, good evening, everyone. As you are joining, we have a simple task. Please grab a pencil and a paper. Grab a pencil or a pen and a paper. Pencil, pen, and paper. Pencil or pen and paper. Please grab, 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 grab. Okay, I see Abdurrahman Bamidele has this. Feyitunmise is ready. Motunrayo has. Um, who else is ready? David of the Waste Generators, Azizat Sulaiman, Gift Unwachuku is ready. Bashirat is ready. Karima Uniron is ready. Azan Hamisu got it. How many persons? I need many more persons to confirm that they have. Aliyu Ihechukwu is ready. You can put up your video and your audio. Nenrod
Thank you.
Rov up video and good. I'm just going to stop videos. All right. One more time for everybody that just joined. Please get a notepad, a paper, and a pen or a pencil that you can write and draw with. I'm waiting for more persons to confirm that they have that. We are not jotting. I say I have my jotting materials. I'm not saying things for you to jot to. We just want to understand climate change together. Yeah, so we'll see. I'll ask for those of you that say you are ready. Okay, let's I'm on the WhatsApp group. Just take a picture of yours and post on the WhatsApp group. Maybe it will even get other persons who are not here. It will spark their curiosity. Take a picture of your paper and your pen or pencil and post on the WhatsApp group. Thank you. Let's do that. We would begin officially by 8:30. Let me go to the WhatsApp group and see. I've seen Aliyu Musa drop his own paper. I've seen Olua Tomiwa. Okay. I've seen Aliyu Salma. Let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming. Grab a pen or pencil and a notepad. Somebody tagged me. Easy footwears. Okay, I see you. Ask of Henry. Z. Ayola. I'm calling your WhatsApp names. Theodora. Is it Theodora or Theodora? Sorry. Anike. Martha Stitches. Winnie the Pooh. Really? Our cartoon. Bashira Tokpeyemi. Okay, thank you guys. Now I know you are following. So good. Maybe at the end of this evening session, you would also post a picture of what you have on the group. Oladayo, I see that you have yours. Oladayo Abdurrahman Bamidele. Okay, okay, it's looking good. It's looking good. I'm seeing them coming. Elegant drapes. That sounds very interesting. Cool name. All right. So let's get into it. Good evening once again, everybody. Creature. Wow. Interesting name. Creature, I see you have dropped yours too. Final one, Nenrod. Okay, Doris. I'm leaving WhatsApp now, coming back to Zoom. All right. Good evening once again, everybody. Again, I am Mayo Molera, and it's a pleasure to speak with you all. I hope that you have been enjoying the academy so far. I know it has been stressful, it has been demanding, it has been something that it's been many things that you've not experienced or done before. The setup, the structure, the high regimen, the early mornings, the late evenings, the tasks, the brain switch on and everything. I know it's the first time that many of us have been in a structured program as such, especially virtually. So I understand. And some of you may be thinking, these guys are very unfair. But somewhere in your mind, you don't want to be expelled from the academy. You want to see it through. So but beyond all the seriousness, I hope that you are also enjoying it and that you are learning. I hope it's opening your eyes up to what we are trying to teach you about environmental sustainability and that it is practical enough for you um, to to be more informed about um, environmental sustainability and climate action. And yeah, speaking of climate action, that is our discourse tonight. The topic is understanding climate change and inspiring climate action. So if we are going to be young people who would lead, facilitate, participate, and create, climate solutions or lead climate action, we need to understand what climate change itself is. I know that it's a word that is well thrown around these days. Any small thing, climate change. It is the weather is hot, climate change. Rain is falling, climate change. Wind is blowing, climate change. Abi, am I lying? Is that not what it is now? At least for those of you that have been hearing about it, any small thing, climate change. We want to pump water. Water has finished in the ground. A pumping machine is blowing empty. Climate change. Uh, what else? What else? Any other thing that you have attributed to climate change? There's flooding. Climate change. The maize is not growing as it's supposed to grow. Climate change. Oh yeah, you guys should help me now in the chat room. Is there any other thing? I'm not saying the things I've said I'm not saying they are wrong or right. Heat wave, heat wave, climate change. What else? What else? What else? What else? Droughts, climate change, rising sea levels, climate change, ozone depletion, climate change. Matthew Olaoluwa Balogun, God bless you so much for mentioning ozone depletion. Please remind me to speak to ozone depletion before, in case I forget, before I sign off this night. Flood, melting of the ice, natural disasters, farm produce, climate change. Great. Please, very importantly, remind me to speak to ozone depletion. Thank you very, 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 very much for mentioning it. So everything climate change. Well, it's expensive, safe. Some persons will blame it on climate change. Nigeria has bad roads, climate change, and all of that. So yes, climate change. I'm just trying to say that climate change has become very topical, very common, and it's something that we throw around and that we attribute a lot of extreme environmental occurrences too, which is many times right and maybe sometimes not right. But my work this night is to help you to understand how climate change occurs. How so if you have an understanding of how it happens, it will I'm sure that it will help you in your advocacy and in leading climate action, basically. So let's go into it. That sheet of paper you have with you, first point of action, first thing I want you to do in the center of the paper. Oh, somebody is saying they can't hear me. Please confirm that every other person on the call, can you hear me clearly? Oluwapelumi Dada is saying they can't hear me clearly. Okay, people
And you
can
can't
hear me
forget
clearly. Okay, Oluwapelumi, if you can maybe leave the meeting and rejoin, perhaps that would help. Okay, so back to our sheet of paper. So first thing I want you to do, draw a circle. Is it a perfect circle? Just draw a circle or a sphere in the center of the paper. As much as you can make, as round as you can make it, just draw it in the center of the paper. In the center, or keep it in the middle. I know that many of us, we may not have drawn something for long, but just draw a circle in the center of the paper. Let it be, well, not too big. Just draw a circle. Have we done that? I'll just be following in the chat room. If I see 1, 2, 3 affirmations, I'll move on. Have we done that? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, great. Now, in the circle, just write EARTH, EARTH. So EARTH, EARTH. In the center of the circle, just label it Earth. Now, that is our planet Earth, that we live in. When I say we live in planet Earth, am I correct? Is it correct to say that we live in planet Earth? So, okay, Bashira says I should come again. Draw a circle in the center of the paper you have, and label it Earth. In the center of the circle, just write Earth. So I'm asking that is the planet that we live in, and I'm asking if that is correct. Do we live in the Earth? Do we live in planet Earth? Are these yeses to my question? Correct that we live in planet Earth. Okay, I am happy am I happy? I am wrong. We do not live in planet Earth. We live on planet Earth. Thank you very much, Chinelo. We live on planet Earth, not in planet Earth. You don't live inside the planet, you live on the planet. So inside the planet is the core of the planet. It's a lot of heat and magma, that's molten lava, many things inside at the core of the Earth. So we do not live inside, we live on the Earth. So we live on the surface of the Earth. And remember that the Earth is spherical in shape. So at different points, we are on one part of the curvature of the Earth. But the Earth is so big that, yeah, even a curved part will look so flat and all of that. And you can only appreciate this when you know, go outside the planet and zoom out. And I think you guys on day one, when you were doing the topic of the village called universe, you would have seen, the Earth you scale with other planets and all that. But let's come back. Yeah, so to our circle, we live on the Earth. So now, draw draw a stick human with a head, a line, hands, and leg. Just draw a stick human on the Earth to show that we live on the Earth, on the top of the Earth. Just draw a stick human. So draw a stick human on the Earth. At the end of class, everybody will take a picture of their drawing, so, and we'll post on the group as we have posted the blank sheet. So I know that it's going to be interesting to see all the many things that you guys are drawing. If you are not sure what your stick woman should look like, you can take a mirror, look in the mirror, and try to draw try to draw whoever you see in the mirror. Draw a stick human, like all those stick humans with a head, one long line under the circle, then hands and leg just standing on the earth. So to signify that we live on the earth. So draw that, a stick figure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So after now that you've drawn that, so that is a human, that is you standing on the earth. Yeah. Where we are going is we want to understand how climate change happens. Now, I want you to draw. I don't know how big your paper is, but I want you to give some space. Put your middle finger, where your finger joins with your palm. Put your middle finger, the part where your finger joins with, because I want us to create similar space. The part where your middle finger joins with your palm, put it on the edge of the circle of the earth that you have drawn. Now mark the distance between where your finger ends. I don't know if I'm explaining this properly. Take your middle finger, the point where your middle finger connects with the rest of your hand, put it on the boundary of the earth, one part of the circle. Then mark the point where that middle finger ends. I'm going to take it one more time. Look at your middle finger here, the part where it connects with the rest of your palm. Place that part on the any part of the boundary of the earth. The earth is a circle. So place that part where your middle finger connects with your palm. Place it on the boundary of the circle. Then mark where your finger extends to. Then now draw a circle based on that mark that you have. So basically just create a lot of space. Yes, create a lot of space. Create a lot of space and draw a bigger circle around the earth. But let the space be very significant. And draw a bigger circle around the earth. So that's what I want you to do. Okay, for those that don't understand, you have your earth, right? Now, draw a bigger circle around the earth, but don't let the circle be close to the earth. Don't let it be close. It should not. You have the earth, you have a human standing on the earth. So the circle you are drawing now, there should be some space between it. It should not even, the circle should touch the human. Give it a lot of space, basically. Just draw a bigger circle around the earth and give it a lot of space in between. So let there be very visible distance between the earth and that bigger circle that you are drawing. So that's it. Your earth is there. There's a human on the earth. Now draw a bigger circle around the earth. Have we done that? It's very simple. The earth is the smaller circle. Draw a bigger circle. Yes, circumference, whatever you are going to call it. But yeah, it's a circumference. The earth is there. You have your earth first, then draw another. You have a human being on the earth. Fine. Then draw another bigger circle that is surrounding that human being and the earth. Draw a bigger circle. Okay, I see a lot of yes, sirs. Now, remember you labeled planet Earth. Now, label that bigger circle. You can draw a line on it and label it greenhouse gases. You can just write it in full. Greenhouse gases. Now, do that labeling. Then, to be sure you are following, can you give me some example of greenhouse gases that you know or that you have heard about? Yeah, just label the circle. Anyhow you want to label, whether on the line itself, whether you want to draw a line and label it. Okay, I see examples. It's greenhouse gases, methane, CO2, methane, CO2. Now this guy is popular pass. Other ones, Uncle, NO2, thank you, nitrous oxide, water vapor. Yes, thank you. Some persons don't know that water vapor is also a greenhouse gas. Carbon, no. Carbon and oxygen, no. But if it's together, carbon dioxide, CO2, yes. So chlorofluorocarbon, CFCs, yes, correct. Sulfur oxides too. H2O, well, yeah, H2O, water vapor, the vapor, yes. They've answered all the question. All right, so now we have an earth, we have a human on the earth, and we have a bigger circle of greenhouse gases surrounding the earth, yeah? Now, great. Now, the next thing we are going to draw, look at the top, you are facing your paper. So the top left corner of your paper, draw a sun there. How do you draw a sun? Just draw a circle and put many lines on the edges. You know how we used to represent sun. This top left corner of your paper. So draw a sun there. Sun, label it sun. Draw a circle put radiation around it and just draw lines around it that are extending out of sun. And so just to show that the sun is shining, is radiating. Are we good? Are we cool? Are we cool? Are we good? Okay, I see 2 years. I see 3 years. Okay, we'll move. Great, great, great. Now, I want you to draw an arrow or draw like three arrows from the sun to where you have the greenhouse gases. You know, there's a circle of greenhouse gases. Draw like three arrows. And what that is showing is that radiation is coming from the sun towards the planet. So draw three arrows from the sun towards the. Remember, I are going to share this picture after this class. So draw three arrows from the sun towards the greenhouse gases circle. Okay, you should have done that now. Now, I want you to draw some arrows, another three arrows from the earth itself, from the circle of the earth. Draw another three arrows that are going up. The one from the sun is coming down. The arrow from the sun is coming down. The one from the earth is going up towards the greenhouse gases circle. So we have two heat coming from two sources, one coming from the sun and one going from the planet back to that greenhouse gases layer. Let me know when you have done that also. The last Green Switch Academy, the GSA2, we did not do it like this. For that one, I was actually displaying a screen here and I was doing the drawings, but this one I want us to do it together so you understand it yourself. Now, great. So I said we had drawn three arrows from the sun, showing that heat is coming from the sun to the greenhouse gas layer. So I'm saying draw another three arrows from the planets to that greenhouse gases layer. So these arrows from the planet is going up while the one from the sun is coming down. So basically showing that heat is coming from the sun, heat is also going from the planet to the greenhouse gas layers. So that is where we are. All right. Matthew, Olaolo, and Gift Nwachukwu, I hope that you have caught up now. So now a little explanation. The sun shines. The sun powers the solar system here. It powers all the planets in this solar system. There are many solar systems in the universe and all of that. You've seen all of that in day one. So now the sun powers the solar system. It is our source of heat. It is because of the heat from the sun that we are able to survive on this planet. And the earth is perfectly placed at a distance from the sun where the heat is neither too much or too small for us to survive. If the world is, now that it feels like everywhere is hotter, you can see the discomfort. So, and if the heat is not there, it will be too cold. So what happens is the sun radiates and releases this heat and all different kinds of radiations. Now, there's a layer, but I don't want us to draw that ozone thing now. There's a layer after that greenhouse gases layer, another circle that we are going to draw that surrounds, that is in the stratosphere, but don't bother yourself about that. The greenhouse gases, they are in the troposphere. Again, don't bother about that. So when the radiations come from the sun, what the ozone layer does is it helps to filter out the ultraviolet rays of the sun and infrared rays that are harmful to us, mostly the ultraviolet rays that can be harmful to humans and animals. It helps to filter all of those out. But then some rays still come through, and those are the ones that now hit, that I told you to draw those three arrows that come to the planet. And some of these heat, they come directly to the surface of the planet. Yeah, they pass through the greenhouse gases and come to the planet directly, while some of them are trapped in that greenhouse gas layer. Now, naturally, greenhouse gases exist surrounding the planet. So that bigger circle surrounding the Earth is a natural layer of greenhouse gases that surrounds the Earth, and their work is to trap the right amount of heat that we need to survive on the planet. If those greenhouse gases are not there, the sun will burn us. We cannot survive on the planet. if they are not there. During the day, we'll be exposed directly to the sun, and at night, it will be too cold because now what the greenhouse gases do, they trap the heat and they release some of this heat. They keep the planet warm naturally without causing any problem. If they are not there during the day when the sun is shining, it will burn us. At night, it will be too cold, we will freeze. So now, what is happening? Some of the heat that comes from the sun gets directly to the earth, and from the earth also absorbs some of this heat. Sometimes, I don't know if you've been on soils, on if you've walked on sand that is hot, if you've been by walls in the early evening, 4 5 p.m. Some walls are usually hot, they are emitting heat that they have absorbed during the day. So some of this heat, remember that all of this is on the surface of the planet. We are on the planet, not in the planet. And yes, there's also some heat inside the planet in the core. So some of this heat now radiates back to the atmosphere. And that's why I said you should also draw 3 arrows from the planet to the greenhouse gases layer. Now, remember that the natural work of the greenhouse gas layer surrounding the planet is to trap just enough heat for us to survive on the planet, for us to have a good weather and climatic condition. Now, where the twist is, that is what is now causing climate change, is because of urbanization, because of development, civilization, industrialization, those three culprits, urbanization, civilization, urbanization, industrialization, those three things, everything can be classified under it that causes or that contributes to climate change. So because all of this is happening, we are emitting a lot of those gases you have mentioned earlier. Remember that, again, these gases exist naturally to trap heat to surround the planet, to give us enough heat to survive to. But now, because we now carry out processes, whether it's through agriculture, transportation, burning of fossil fuel, smoking, cooking, anything at all that leads to emission of these gases, of CO2, of methane, nitrous oxides, CFCs, sulfur oxides, anything that leads to the emission of these things, are the things that we say contribute to that release greenhouse gases from the earth. Now, what now happens is, as we release, remember again that we are on the surface of the earth, as we release these gases, they go up there, and they go and add to that circle that surrounds the planet, that bigger circle, that layer of greenhouse gases. It's one layer that you have, yes? Let me be sure you are following. You have one circle, one big circle surrounding the earth of greenhouse gases, yes? Yes. Okay, so now I've explained we are at the point where we are emitting a lot of greenhouse gases to the atmosphere. So I want you to draw, to make that circle that is surrounding the earth, increase it to 3 circles, add another 2 circles. So not I just want you to tick in it, just draw another circle around that one and draw another one immediately around it. So let it look like 3 layers of circles that are close to each other. So let's have that 3 layers, that greenhouse gas circle, increase it to 3 layers of circles that are close to each other. Let me know when you are done. I hope that you guys are following my narration and it's making some sense to you. Again, I could have just done this and bring pictures and all that, but I want you to understand it yourself so it's the greenhouse gas layer that you are increasing. You are making it 3 concentric circles. Instead of that one circle of greenhouse gas, increase it to 3 circles, 3 rings of circles that are very close to each other. Great. I see some people saying done. So now what we have is our earth labeled, a person standing on the earth, 3 layers of greenhouse gas circles, and the sun, arrows going from the earth, the sun in the top left corner, and arrows coming from the sun. That's what you should have on your paper right now. Great. So now, moving on. 2 extra circles, yes, for the greenhouse gas circle, add 2 extra circles to it. The explanation is that the one circle that we drew before for the greenhouse gas is the naturally occurring greenhouse gases surrounding the planet that traps heat from the sun and that also traps heat that is radiated from the earth. And their work is to help us maintain the temperature that we need to live comfortably as humans and animals and plants on the planet. So, but because of our activities, grouped all that falls under civilization, urbanization, and industrialization, development generally, transportation, anything that emits these greenhouse gases. So we have added to the layer, to the thickness of that greenhouse gas layer surrounding the planet. So that's why I said you should increase the number of circles of those greenhouse gas circles from 1 to 3. So now you can imagine that if naturally one layer of greenhouse gas is enough to trap heat that will make us comfortable on the planet, because we have now added more gases and we have made that layer thicker than it is, what does it mean? If one layer traps enough heat, two layers will trap more heat, three layers will even trap more heat, right? So I want you to even do something, add another 2 circles to it. So make it a total of how many now? You have 3, add another 2 to it. So how many rings of greenhouse gases are we going to have now? I guess you guys are busy drawing. Okay, 5 rings, great. So give me, no, I want to see, you should have 5 layers of greenhouse gases. Now again, because of human activities, we have 5 layers. So that's why when they are defining climate change, they will say that it's a change in a radical change in climatic condition due to human activities. So naturally, climate is greenhouse gases surrounding the planet, and naturally, climate change can occur because of some natural activities like volcanic eruptions and yeah, mostly volcanic eruptions and the melting of polar ice caps, which releases some greenhouse gases too. So there are natural processes that can make climate change, greenhouse gases get emitted into the atmosphere. And when a volcanic eruption happens, that's rock that is in liquid form will erupt from the earth. I said earlier that the core of the earth is very hot and all that. And when it happens, it's usually disastrous. I want you guys, if you have not seen this movie, Pompeii, Pompeii, I think. If you have not seen that movie, go and look for it and see it. It will show you what a volcanic eruption looks like. It can be very crazy. It's like a monumental, disastrous event. So like when rock wants to erupt from the planet, liquid rock before it solidifies and all that. But yeah, go and see that movie. So that can happen, but that is not a phenomenon. That's not something that happens every day. What happens every day is that we are constantly civilizing, urbanizing, and industrializing. And this is what increases our title of the movie, Pompeii, Pompei, or double I don't know. But it's an interesting epic movie and all that. Has anybody seen it? Let me type in the chat room. Pompeii. It's, I think this should be it. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so back to class. So 5 layers of greenhouse gases. Now, if one layer is trapping enough heat, 5 layers is definitely trapping too much heat. And now that is where the concept, when you hear global warming, this is where global warming comes from. Greenhouse gases surrounding the planet. They are naturally trapping heat for us to survive. But because we have added more thickness, more greenhouse gases to that natural layer surrounding the planet, it is trapping more heat than we need, too much heat than we need. And that is where the concept of global warming now comes in. So if you do not understand, sometimes people will say global warming, climate change, they mention them together and all that. They are not particularly the same. The first thing that happens is global warming. What causes global warming? Emission of greenhouse gases that increases the layer of greenhouse gases surrounding the planet. Because now those gases, the thickness is increased and it's trapping more heat than we need. That is what is called global warming. So sometimes when you are feeling, when it's looking like the sun is hotter, the sun is not hotter, it's the temperature that is warmer. So it looks like the sun is hotter. The sun is shining the same way it has been shining since the sun has been created or the sun has been the sun. It's just that the layer of gases that is helping us trap amount of it is now trapping too much. So it makes everything feel hotter and warmer. Yes, and on some days it will look like the sun is hitting you directly, but we'll come back to that. But again, it's because the temperature is warmer. So now we have 5 concentric rings of greenhouse gases trapping too much with global warming. Because remember that greenhouse gas, it's the layer, there's a space between it and the planet Earth. And that is where all the greenhouse gases are operating and helping to regulate the weather and climatic conditions for the Earth. So now that it is trapping too much that there's global warming, it now affects the different weather climate and weather variables. It affects rainfall, it affects wind, it affects humidity, it affects temperature, it affects pressure. It just affects all the components of environment because the temperature is changing. So it affects all these different things. And it is how all of these weather variables are changing radically that now leads to the concept that we call climate change. Global warming is happening because we have emitted a lot of greenhouse gases that is increasing the thickness of greenhouse gases surrounding the planet. It is trapping more heat, which leads to global warming. Global warming in its effect, the effect of global warming is now climate change because there's different things happening. Things are not happening as they are supposed to. It's causing more rainfall in some places, less rainfall in some places, so much strong winds, extreme rainfall, droughts, and all of that. So that is how climate change is happening. I hope that this narration we have done together helps you to understand the word climate change very well, like you have not before. And beyond all the definitions that you get that climate change is this, blah, blah. This is the physics of it. So I hope that you appreciate better when we say don't emit gases, reduce your emission, lower your emission, low emissions. I hope that you understand why there's always a talk about stop emitting greenhouse gases in the conversations about climate change. This is how it happens. It is the greenhouse gases that are the culprits. Greenhouse gases are not bad in themselves. They are not the bad guys. We are the bad guys for emitting so much of these greenhouse gases that now go up there and join the natural layer that occurs. So when you say greenhouse gases, that word it makes it look like whenever you hear greenhouse gases, you run for your life. They are the bad guys, they are devils, they are evil gases. They are not. CO2 is a gas that you breathe out of your nose. So as you are breathing, self, you are contributing, you are releasing greenhouse gas. Methane, some of you, when you fart, I mean, it's releasing greenhouse gas too. And methane is a gas that we even cook with and all of that. So they are not, the gases themselves are not the problem. It is the concentration, the quantity of the gases that we are emitting that is the problem. That's why we now say drive less and walk more so that you are reducing how much greenhouse gas that is coming from your driving or from your taking a cab or anything that burns fuel and all of that. And so now I hope that when you hear those things, it helps you appreciate better and understand better how these greenhouse gases go and contribute to global warming and climate change. So if one person walks instead of driving or taking a cab, if 10 persons do that, it will reduce a certain amount of greenhouse gases that go up there, reduce the number of rings that we have because the rings now they are increasing, the number of greenhouse gas, the thickness is increasing, and there will be more heat, there will be more global warming, there will be more climate variability, climate change, more extreme things will continue to happen. So I hope again that the understanding of how this happens will help in your advocacy better when you are teaching yourself about climate and teaching others, I mean, like about climate change, and you're stressing that everything we are doing, in everything we are doing, as much as we have to develop, but we have to follow the least emission pathway to development. Any kind of development that we release so much greenhouse gases into the planet is not sustainable. That's why you see that, okay, people say, or groups or campaigns or advocacy say, let's move away from fossil fuels because that's where most of the greenhouse gases are emitted from and go to renewable energy sources and all that. Any kind of development where we can reduce our greenhouse gas emission is the most sustainable option. So burning of waste, driving less, putting off your lights when not in use, all these things, they contribute to releasing greenhouse gases. But if we reduce them, that is us taking climate action, and that is us increasing the number of rings of greenhouse gases or the thickness of the layer of greenhouse gases that surrounds the planet. So now you understand climate change, and I hope that it will help you, it will inspire climate action or help you in your advocacy for climate action better yourself. It will help you appreciate that, okay, all these things we've been saying, don't do this, don't do that, do this better, that now I see how it is affecting the environment. I see somebody saying that bad petrol cause incomplete combustion, which release bad gases. Now, this is Bamidele, this is fallacy. But thank you for mentioning this. Now, when you say bad petrol, yes, we have fuel that is not properly refined. And when your engine burns there, it releases a lot of smoke. And the smoke, you see, sometimes you see some vehicles moving on the way. Either their engine is no good or they are driving with bad fuel, and you see exhaust from their silencer or a bike and all that. Whether that smoke, yeah, that smoke that is coming out that you are seeing, usually there's a lot of carbon monoxide that is toxic and all that. There's greenhouse gases being released from that. That one you are seeing the gas. The ones that is petrol that is properly refined, that is not bad petrol, it is also releasing gases. If not, the petrol that you use, what happens to it? It burns and it also gets released into the environment. Even if you are not seeing it, like you are seeing the one that is bad petrol, that you are seeing the one that the engine is not good, whether it is burning and looking clean, the fact is it still burns and it becomes greenhouse gases that whether you see it or not. Abi, can you see CO2? When you breathe out, can you see can you see what you are breathing out? No, you cannot. But is CO2 there? Are the gases there? Are they coming out? Yes, they are. So whether your engine is sound and burning well, the cocoa is burning, and it is releasing these gases. So that's how it works. Now, again, I hope that this has been insightful and helpful for you. Yeah, ozone. I said I was going to speak to ozone. Somebody mentioned earlier when I was asking for the um gases, the greenhouse gases. Now, ozone is a gas, O3. Oxygen is O2. Three ozone, three oxygen, O3 is ozone, and that's what makes up the ozone layer. Now, let's do something. I don't know if you still have a lot of space. Draw another layer of circle, but not this time around, not close to the greenhouse gases, but bigger than another circle that is bigger than the greenhouse gases rings, but it's not close to the sun. No. Draw another circle around everything and now label that one ozone layer. So another circle distant from the greenhouse gases circle, but bigger than them. Now label that one. No, not outside the sun. The circle should be between the sun and the greenhouse gases. Make it farther away from the sun, and closer to the greenhouse gases, but it is not, don't draw it as part of the greenhouse gas circles. You have 5 layers of circles for the greenhouse gas. Now draw another bigger circle between the sun and the greenhouse gases and label that one the ozone layer. Now, the ozone layer is a layer that, as I mentioned earlier, filters out the ultraviolet and harmful rays of the sun, prevents them from coming to hit the planet directly. So it absorbs, it bounces it back and all that, just does not let it get to us. Now, back then, when industrialization and civilization was, increasing, there was a lot of ozone depleting substances. Now, this ozone depletion is totally different. Please listen. Don't ever make this mistake. There's a lot of people, lecturers, government workers, people that work in Ministry of Environment, advocates, people that do advocacy for environmental sustainability that makes this up. Ozone layer depletion, my people, is different from climate change. Oh, please don't ever be caught. You cannot be a graduate of the Greenwich Academy and you make that mistake. It is very, very unfresh. It is, please, somebody should write unfresh in the chat room. It is very unfresh. Fresh at all. That you say ozone layer depletion is what causes climate change. Utio, no, mba. So ozone layer depletion is caused by ozone depleting substances, and examples of that are chlorofluorocarbons. That's a common example. There are other things too that contribute to it. So back then, when scientists discovered that, we are getting exposed to ultraviolet rays, and it's because of ozone layer depletion. Now you see that ozone layer is closer to the sun, is in the stratosphere, is farther away from the earth. The first thing, it receives the ultraviolet rays of the sun. So when we saw that it was depleting, then scientists came together and, okay, what is the way forward? We have to reduce the release of chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs. Remember that CFC is also a greenhouse gas. So when it even goes up there, if it escapes from that layer of greenhouse gases, it will go to the ozone layer and deplete it. That's how they get up there to steal from our emissions from the earth. So we tried, and there was an agreement called the Montreal Protocol, where world leaders came together and everything, and they agreed that, we really have to reduce this, because if not, everybody go just collect for their skin from the sun. And this one is not even about heat; it's about the kind of cancers that all of those ultraviolet rays from the sun, if it comes to us directly, will cause. So they started reducing these ozone depleting substances, using it less in refrigerators, in air conditioners. Are we totally rid of them? No, but the quantity has significantly reduced in use for items, electronic materials, and in other places where they are used. So that is ozone layer depletion, and it's caused by ozone depleting substances. A common example is chlorofluorocarbons. Is different from climate change. It is not ozone layer depletion that is causing global warming. It is not, though, and it's not the one that is causing climate change. The whole conversation about ozone is that it sieves ultraviolet and rays of the sun, but when it started having holes, when the parts of it were broken because of our of these ozone depleting substances that we release, the world had to come together, and the world agreed, and the world made serious effort. And it's good news that some parts of the ozone layer are even healing right now. They are getting patched up naturally. They use these ozone depleting substances. But it is from that agreement when we saw that, okay, the world saw that if we agreed for ozone and we were able to do something about it, and now we are getting positive results, then we can also, unite and do something about climate change. Now, maybe the reason why we quickly responded to ozone depleting substances is because those ultraviolet rays, if you're exposed to them for a short period of time, they feel make things happen to us, to our body, and all that. But now the heat that we are feeling now from global warming, it does not buy human beings immediately. You know, you can be frustrated from heat, but it does not kill you in that moment or something like that. You remember for COVID-19, the whole world shuts down because it was an immediate striker. If it catches you, if you collect immediately, may you move, come off for this space. So, but for this, because they are not things that are killing us immediately, but our response rates to them are slow and all that. So I hope I've been able to explain the difference between ozone layer depletion and climate change. Um, some parts, because ozone itself is also a greenhouse gas, the things that contribute to global warming, some of them also deplete the ozone. Yes, there's that part, but it's not ozone layer depletion that causes climate change. There are two different concepts that are happening up there and that have effect on us down here. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of this class. Once again, and finally, I hope that this understanding of how our emissions from the earth that we are living on, how it goes up there and thickens the layer of the greenhouse gases and now traps more heat than we need, leading to global warming, and that leading to climate change. I hope this understanding will help you to um, lead climate action better, will help you to be better climate ambassadors. We help you to really stay strong on why we need to reduce emissions in everything that we do in our very little, from the most simple ways, from cutting our own personal emissions, reducing our waste footprint, putting off light, using less water, using less power, unplugging devices or appliances when not in use, all the things that you have been doing, all the tasks that you're carrying out, connecting with nature and all that, everything has a role to play. Everything is a form of climate action that reduces our greenhouse gas emissions that cause global warming and climate change. Thank you for having me. I hope it was worth your while. Bye bye, everybody. Yes, please, very importantly, very, very, very importantly, take a picture. Let us see the masquerades that we have been drawing. Take a picture of your final work of art
Wow.
and post it on the WhatsApp group. And this is me signing
Wow,
out.
wow, wow. That
Bye
was
bye.
a powerful session. I'm very sure a lot of artists would have discovered themselves by now. That was so much practical breakdown. I will also be expecting to see a lot of amazing drawings on the group. Now let's locomote to our domot to continue for the day. Thank you so much, Chief. Thank you for all who participate.